Where would you inject it?
Today is my bum, unfortunately for you.
I'm here for the ride, let's go.
Jesus, kid. Olá pessoal, Rodrigo Góes aqui. Hoje é um dia que estou muito feliz. Eu descobri que não estou sozinho na luta contra o uso e abuso do suco. A empresa Vice fez um documentário fantástico sobre a epidemia de esteroides anabolizantes no Reino Unido. A situação está fora de controle. Os esteroides se tornaram um problema de saúde pública no Reino Unido. Cola comigo, eu vou contar tudo pra vocês. Let's go! Pera aí, antes de começarmos, eu preciso contar pra vocês que começou a Early Friday Insider, uma promoção fantástica. Os descontos podem chegar até 40%. Você pode usar o meu cupom e somar mais os descontos do site. Dessa forma, você terá sua Tech T-shirt em mãos por um preço muito bacana. E não só isso, eu também recomendo a cueca Performance da Insider. A cueca que vai cuidar do seu baseball bat. A cueca que vai tornar a vida do seu baseball bat mais completa. Utilize o cupom GOESBF para descontos de até 40%. E juntos, eu e você ficaremos ecstatic e com um baseball bat muito bem cuidado. Vamos lá, vamos ver o que esse documentário tem a oferecer, mas lembrem-se, tem um aviso aqui embaixo. Esse vídeo contém imagens sensíveis. Será que eu embaço? I don't know, não decidi ainda, mas essa é a verdade sobre o uso do suco. Jesus. Vamos lá.
You can go into any single gym and buy steroids within 5 minutes of being in there.
If you train properly, diet properly, take this shit, you're gonna feel indestructible. Who doesn't want to feel like that?
Quem não quer, não é mesmo? Quem não quer ser grande? Quem não quer ser seco? Quem não quer se sentir como um Superman? É muito tentador, mas o que vem em troca, na verdade, é o que fere.
They're very powerful hormones, but with any drugs there's always payback.
But when there's a drug that does the job, it's a hard argument to say, well, don't use it.
Every time you take this shit, you're risking your fucking life, you know? It's a lottery.
Jesus.
Hell.
Esse documentário promete, hein? Que introdução maneira.
An estimated 500,000 young men in the UK are addicted to steroids.
Viciados em esteroides. Olha o termo que eles utilizaram.
In fact, the Class C drug is the second most used drug after cannabis.
Mate, so when you train,
I've never done it,
the pump is unreal.
But steroids come with some pretty alarming side effects, including liver and kidney failure,
We've got a lot of medication for the heart failure and the heart attacks.
as well as mood swings and increased estrogen, which results in men needing breast reduction surgery. I want to take a look inside the steroid epidemic, from the dealers selling it to the young men taking it. Why is a generation of young men getting hooked on roids?
Porque o shape vicia. O suco vicia.
I'm just outside Cardiff, in the valleys right now, and we're about to see Tom Powell. If he sounds familiar, it's because he was in season 2 of Love Island. He's been openly taking steroids for a number of years now. Do you still think there's like bad connotations with steroid use and like the whole stigma of your balls will shrink?
Ótima pergunta. Será que os testículos diminuem?
That's not stigma, that's fucking true.
Oh.
Yeah, my balls are tiny.
Olha a sinceridade desse cara. E por que isso acontece, pessoal? Bom, eu já falei sobre isso anteriormente. O seu cérebro manda um sinal para os testículos produzirem testosterona de forma natural. Mas quando você tem muita testosterona vindo de fora, vindo de forma exógena, por meio de injeções, seu cérebro pensa, pra que eu vou mandar ele produzir testosterona se ele já tem esse hormônio em abundância? Com isso, os testículos meio que perdem função e vão ficando cada vez menores, atrofiados, como pequenas bolinhas de gude. Sim, essa é a verdade do bodybuilding, e se o usuário for crônico, ano após ano utilizando o suco, os testículos dele ficarão cada vez menores. Essa é a verdade.
Tiny. Well,
Ficaram
very small.
My balls are pretty small.
It's his platform to teach young men how to take them safely. Tom, take me back. What was your physique like before steroids?
Back in school, I was a chubby little kid. For years I was, till I realised girls don't like fat guys.
When did you start taking steroids?
5 months after Love Island.
Was being on camera, did that affect how you saw yourself
Yeah, I felt pressure to stay in shape more. It wasn't the reason why I jumped on steroids. It was a contributing factor. Obviously, I wanted to look good all the time because you're constantly in the public eye. The main reason why I went to Love Island is because I wanted to become a sponsored athlete. I met the guys that I wanted to become, you know, and I asked them straight away, I was like, boys, talk to me about steroids. Are you on them? And they said, yeah, you can't get anywhere in this industry without them.
Não tem como ir longe nesse ramo sem o uso do suco. É verdade? Sim, mas as coisas estão mudando. Natural is the new cool. Natural voltou a ser legal. Natural é a fonte da juventude e a coisa certa a fazer. O que me irrita em certos influenciadores, principalmente os gringos, é que eles são fake natties. Eles dizem que não usam o suco, quando muitas vezes utilizam e fazem amor com o suco.
You can go into any single gym and buy steroids within 5 minutes of being in there.
That's nuts,
Tá
man.
pesado.
They're very, very available.
So what's the biggest you've ever got?
120 kilos lean.
Muito grande.
5, 6 years ago when I first started taking steroids, I wanted to be these, you know, topless influencers that were shredded. I wanted to be that. And now I realized that that was the wrong way to go about it. And that's not what the fitness industry should be.
Com certeza. Não tem nada a ver você ser fitness com ficar fazendo amor com o suco o tempo inteiro.
I take TRT now, which is called testosterone replacement therapy. It's a very low level of testosterone. It's not for muscle gains, it's just for replenishment of me. I've actually got a job now, if you want to see it.
Jesus!
Yeah, of course, yeah. Long-term steroid use impairs your testosterone production, resulting in symptoms like fatigue, anxiety, and low libido. Tom has to take TRT, a prescribed light steroid to help.
Tom não produz mais testosterona de forma natural. Ah, Rodrigo, mas é assim impossível de recuperar o eixo? Pode ser que sim, mas seria uma luta árdua. 2, 3, 4 anos para recuperar o eixo de forma adequada, porque ele era um usuário crônico. Ele se rendeu ao suco. Ele se tornou escravo das agulhas.
Balance his hormones. Where would you inject it?
Today is my bum, unfortunately for you.
I'm here for the ride, let's go.
Jesus, kid.
There's a certain V in your ass where you're not supposed to go. So I'm going to be going around here. Wipe the area first.
I never thought I'd be
What kind of
staring
report?
intently into someone's bum cheeks today, but...
Cap off. Push all the air bubbles out. And that's ready to go.
Olha a cara dele de assustado, pessoal. Olha isso.
There we have it. New alcohol wipe. Wipe all around the area.
And that is all done.
And that didn't hurt.
At all.
When you first started taking it, what were the side effects?
This is where I was taking tren, my third cycle. So I had a lot. My mood swings were up and down. Night terrors, which is horrible dreams every single night. Couldn't keep a hard on.
Damn.
I looked incredible.
Mesmo com o uso do suco, ele não conseguia ter ereções. Nos Estados Unidos, tem um termo chamado trend dick, que é o membro de trembolona, que é considerado rochoso, imponente, um baseball bat, muito interessante. No entanto, com o uso crônico de esteroides, você passa a ter problemas de ereções, mesmo utilizando o suco. As ereções se tornam mais difíceis de serem conquistadas. Por essa razão, o baseball bat fantástico te seduz no início, mas depois ele vira um mini baseball bat. Depende do caso, obviamente, mas no caso de Tom, isso aconteceu.
I looked lean, I was full, you know, it was great, but I felt like death.
You did something mad recently, like you were having a surgery and then you live streamed it?
Fez uma
Yeah,
live?
I had gynosurgery. Gyno's a build-up of estrogen behind the nipple. I'm estrogen sensitive, so when I was taking steroids, my estrogen built up and stuck behind my nipple basically and it was causing pain.
Ah, mas é só tomar o anti-aromatizante. Pessoal, tem inúmeros casos que a pessoa toma todos os cuidados para não ter ginecomastia e ela tem. Se ginecomastia já não é o suficiente para te fazer ficar longe do suco, eu não sei o que mais vai ser.
Why did you live stream it, bro?
To raise awareness, I know it's a bit crazy. The more people it sees, the more people it reaches, the more people are going to see it and maybe get it checked out. So I thought, yeah, why not go live? I'm trying to enlighten people about the use of steroids. Bodybuilding, they get so shredded, they lose their sex drive. And we, as a community, epitomise.
Mesmo com o uso do suco, quando o bodybuilder tá para competir ou já tá muito seco, já tá há muito tempo de dieta, o baseball bat dele perde o poder de luta. O baseball bat do bodybuilder vira um, eu não sei, vira uma Uma mini raquete de ping-pong de mesa? I don't know, you guys tell me. Vocês entenderam, não é mesmo?
These people with six packs, and actually these guys are so not healthy. Women lose their periods for life sometimes, not just a couple of weeks, just by doing a couple of bodybuilding shows, and people don't realise this.
Let's say I'm a young person trying to get into the fitness industry and I want to be the next gymfluencer. Would you advise me to take steroids?
Find your own path. I wanted to be in the industry so much. I listened to what anyone else did. Do your own journey.
Muitas pessoas com físicos fantásticos se entregam ao suco por pressão, por deixarem outras pessoas influenciarem suas atitudes. Cuidado com os juicers! Muitos usuários tentam fazer com que outras pessoas usem, alegando que não é nada demais, que te fará bem, que você ficará grandão. Eles falam só dos benefícios e mascaram os malefícios. Os malefícios são inúmeros.
Thomas suffered numerous side effects from his years of steroid use, including having to do breast reduction surgery as a result of gynecomastia. The surgeon who performed Tom's operation, the self-proclaimed king of gyno, Dr. John, warns that tens of thousands of men are now at risk of needing the surgery due to steroid use. How many gynecomastia surgeries would you say you do in a week due to steroids?
I do about 2 to 3 a day. So if we say half of them are due to steroids, I mean, we're talking about 15 in 5 days, so about 7 or 8 probably from steroid use.
Isso quem tem dinheiro para operar, né, pessoal? Toda semana ele opera inúmeros usuários de esteroides anabolizantes.
Wow. But I'm the king of gyno, I mean.
Dr. John is letting us film his next breast reduction surgery.
Filmar?
His patient Grant is already in the waiting room. Yo, what's up, bro? Oh, I'm all good. How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Why are you getting this done?
Like, everyone I speak to, no one notices it on me. But for me, it's a self-confidence thing. I've always had like a little bit of it when I was younger. So as soon as I hit like 16, you get it when like some people hit it through puberty. And then I started using steroids and it just kind of never left and just got worse and worse and worse as I got bigger and bigger. But as you're a big lump, you don't really think about it. But if you go into places like Ibiza and Marbella and stuff like that and you're taking your shirt off and you're surrounded with other people that do steroids that haven't got it, people notice it.
Talk us through your steroid use. When was the first time you started taking it?
18.
18?
Yes, I've been on and off it for 10 years. I started going to the gym, seeing that.
Olha só, pessoal, o cara usa 10 anos e não parece que usa, não é mesmo? Não vale a pena, cara. Só destrói a pessoa.
I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to jump on a course. Took some tablets and started getting bigger and kind of never looked back.
Is it more for fitness or is it more like an aesthetic?
I am so unfit. Honestly, at my biggest, I was about 17 and a half stone. I couldn't walk upstairs. Like, generally, my breathing was terrible. I was just carrying so much excess weight that I didn't need. It's never about, like, the fitness. It's about the recovery so I can get bigger and bigger. And when all your mates are sitting at, like, 70 kilos, you look like the biggest in the group.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's a nice feeling.
Are you still on steroids right now?
Yeah.
This hasn't stopped you?
Inacreditável.
I think the problem is I'm so far into it now. And I wish I'd never started.
Eu queria nunca ter começado. Eu sempre falo isso. Muitas vezes o suco é um caminho sem volta. Ele te vicia. Os benefícios físicos, psicológicos, a sensação de se sentir superior aos outros, vicia. Mas tudo isso é ilusão. Olha para esse cara. Utiliza o suco há mais de 10 anos. And look at him! Ele nem parece que treina. Braços finos, corpo compacto e pouco aesthetic. Mas ele não consegue parar. O suco vicia.
I wish I'd never started, but now I'm on it, it's too late.
Agora é tarde.
Everything's ready for you now.
Tadinho.
Fam, good luck, my guy.
Later.
Got this, man.
Ah, meu Deus, vai filmar essa energia. Olha o tamanho do peitinho dele.
Nervous, currently.
Chocado. Olha só o man boobs dele, pessoal.
That's all right at the moment. This is the stuff that's hanging out, and here's the actual glands one.
After applying a local anesthetic, the surgeons have filled Grant's breasts up with a liquid to help with the procedure. What are the dangers and risks of this operation?
I would think that the most common risk is getting a hematoma. So the body wants to heal it and wants to push blood into your chest. Other risks, nipple inversion, nipple necrosis, but there's different ways to prevent that. All right, just gonna set the phaser now.
Vou ter que embaçar isso aí, pessoal. Senão
Next,
YouTube
they're going to extract the
vai
fat
dar problema.
like they would with liposuction.
So what this does is breaking apart the fat And the pseudo gland inside is partially fat and partially fibrous tissue.
Eu adoro esse repórter. Olha a cara desse cara. Jesus, kid, onde você se meteu, não é mesmo?
Fatty parts.
Surprised that much fat, isn't it?
Oh, to be fair, I did offer somebody a crab if they drink some.
Can we get up it to 5 grams? Yeah.
Ugh. Ah.
That's so fucking painful.
Tá sentindo dor, mesmo com anestesia? It's a girl? É uma menina?
Oh,
Sacanagem.
wow.
Olha o tamanho da glândula mamária que foi retirada desse cara. Olha a diferença
I
já.
never
Olha só,
knew.
pessoal.
This is what a gland looks like.
Olha o preço do suco. Yeah.
I genuinely can't believe those massive glands
Eu também
came
não.
out of Grant's body. Honestly, if that doesn't put you off taking steroids, I genuinely don't know what will.
Exatamente. Sério, se isso não te faz repensar o uso do suco, não sei o que vai. Pessoal, o suco não compensa. Siga o caminho natural. Treine, trabalhe duro e durma tranquilo. Coloque a cabeça no travesseiro tranquilo, sem se preocupar com colaterais. É claro, essa é apenas a minha opinião e eu quero espalhar a mensagem que natural é o caminho. Mas se você quer ser um bodybuilder, se você quer se entregar ao suco, se você sonha em se tornar um Mr. Olympia, faça os exames de sangue e faça os exames cardíacos e compreenda que ninguém sai ileso do abuso de drogas. Tudo tem um preço e o suco vai te cobrar.
Since steroids are illegal to sell in the UK, where do they come from? I'm in an undisclosed location and I'm about to meet an international steroid dealer who makes steroids in his kitchen.
Olha, esse aí é até limpinho. Os do Brasil, Jesus.
Yo. What's going on right now?
So basically, I'm a solution of nandrolone or Deca. We've got the raw powder here. Put a couple of chemicals in there, and I'm just finishing it off with some seed oil. This is the carrier. This is the solution.
Like, how do you get the right ingredients for it?
Well, I mean, if you're buying it, over the internet or even from your local dealer, you don't know what the fuck you're getting. Especially when you're injecting it straight into your muscle. Has it got hairs in it?
Meu
Has it got
Deus.
bits of fucking shit floating in it that's going to give you, sepsis?
What's the wildest things that you've heard being put inside steroids then?
Well, I've seen some very dirty conditions. Smoking cigarettes over it, and the ash is dropping in, it's not getting filtered. I've seen people have injections and then go bad. They have to have the whole leg cut open and drained.
Toda vez que você aplica algo de um laboratório clandestino, é uma espécie de roleta russa. Por isso, tomem muito cuidado. Se forem utilizar o suco, o melhor é você ir ao médico e tentar conseguir uma receita. No entanto, isso vai ser difícil, pois a maioria dos médicos não prescreve se o exame de sangue não apontar que você precisa. É por isso que os laboratórios clandestinos faturam tanto. E é por isso que eu fico muito chateado quando eu vejo influenciadores divulgando esse tipo de serviço.
It's fucking risky. It's risky. There's not a lot of people actually making this shit. So the guy in the gym who's telling you, yeah, this is the best gear, how the fuck do they know? Do you know what I mean? Every time you take this shit, you're risking your fucking life, It's a lottery. Unless you're making this yourself or getting it from a pharmaceutical company, you don't know what the fuck's in it.
You're the most honest drug dealer I've ever heard in my life.
Not everybody who makes and sells drugs is trying to kill people and rinse them. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's a grey area, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, ethical drug dealer.
Yeah. What would you say is like your demographic?
It breaks my heart to say it, but 16 to 24
Jesus,
year olds.
16?
Just as they're like sort of coming through puberty and this, young guys wanting to just be buff or whatever. If you train properly, diet properly, take this shit, you're gonna feel indestructible.
É isso que eu falo, pessoal. Você vai se sentir invencível. O suco te torna uma espécie de rei. Mas o que você não sabe é que é tudo fake. Ao parar de pagar o aluguel, ao parar de se picar, o shape vai embora. Ah, mas se o natural parar de treinar também vai. Obviamente. A musculação é um esporte ingrato. Ou você pratica, ou você perde. Mas obviamente com os usuários do suco, isso é mais acentuado. pois além dos músculos irem embora mais rapidamente, a sua saúde vai junto, a sua libido, o seu baseball bat e os seus testículos. Fiquem longe do suco!
Doesn't want to feel like that.
All of these ingredients are like easily sourced?
Yeah, easily. The chemicals are just household, everyday items. Sourcing the raws, you have to order them from abroad, get them shipped in, and that's the riskiest part if customs seize it. But that's all they'll do. But the risk reward, if you compare it to other drugs, I mean, it's insane the returns you can get. It wouldn't be uncommon for us on a bad month to make 50 grand, and a good month to make 100 grand.
On a bad month, 50 grand?
So easy. There's filter paper on here, it's just a very fine membrane. If this is not filtered, you are for sure going to have big problems, okay? You're going to have gaping holes in your ass or in your shoulder or whatever with poison coming out.
Pessoal, imagina se o cara que produz em um laboratório clandestino simplesmente decide, quer saber, esse lote eu vou fazer nas coxas, não tô nem aí, já recebi, hoje eu tô estressado, não quero trabalhar direito. Isso pode custar a sua vida e a de alguém que você ama.
So this step is very important. So you've got here, finished product. I just do it by eye there. So now you've got your bottle. And it goes on. There you go. Okay.
This is nuts.
And if you put a light through it, you should say it's clean. There should be no particles in there. That's a good tip actually. If you do buy gear, get a light on it. If there's shit floating in the gear, don't take it. Don't take it. Cap comes off. There you go. Made in what? 30 minutes. No time at all.
That's crazy.
Powerful shit. It's not to be abused, man. Right?
So, what would you say to any young person who's thinking about taking steroids?
Don't fucking take it, it'll ruin your life. No fucking teenage boy anywhere in this fucking world needs to be taking anabolic steroids.
Obrigado, senhor traficante. Agora falta você parar de produzi-los e vendê-los, rapaz! Do que adianta essa ética se você produz o suco? Do que adianta essa ética se você torna jovens usuários do suco? Quem você pensa que é? Walter White, a.k.a. Heisenberg? Eu acho que não, ele jamais faria isso. Quer dizer, ele fez pior, não é mesmo? Eu não sei qual dos dois é pior, mas do que adianta essa ética, senhor traficante? Em um mês ruim você vende 50 mil libras. Em um mês bom, 100 mil libras por mês. Mais de 600 mil reais é muito bom, não é mesmo? É muito bom lucrar com a dor dos outros. Eu espero que você seja punido, senhor traficante. Droga.
Unless they've got a real medical issue that, you know, that needs it, you know, like, but, I mean, kids taking fucking trend, come on, man. You're gonna fuck yourself up. You're gonna fuck yourself up, and you're not gonna come back for it. You look like shit. You can't fucking shag your bird.
Sim, pessoal, usuários de esteroides se tornam broxas após cessar o uso ou até mesmo durante, depende da genética, beleza?
You can't, you know what I mean? You've got no interest in life, you know what I mean? It's like, do you really want it?
Now, John is making 50 to 100,000 pounds a month from making steroids in his kitchen. Who's to say other dealers aren't doing the same thing, but worse? You don't know what they're putting in there just to try and increase profit margins. So a lot of steroids that are available in the market might be unsafe, and it could lead to definitely infections, septicemia, and you might even have limbs removed. It worries me that even the dealer is warning people not to take steroids. But for some athletes competing in the bodybuilding industry, they would argue that taking steroids is a necessity.
Okay, every single athlete today, it will be their first time ever on a bodybuilding stage, so we do need to give them lots and lots of support. We have our first athletes ready, I believe.
With the bodybuilding community, do you think any of them would have been using steroids in their preparation?
At this particular show, I imagine most people will.
Oh, okay, so is it like an open secret with bodybuilding?
Yeah, so there's two different types of federations. So FitX is a federation that doesn't drug test the athletes. There are certain ones who do, so obviously no one there will be. But at FitX, it's, I imagine, most of, if not everyone.
Oh, okay, so as you said, no drug testing, probably no stigma towards that.
No, definitely not.
Have you ever tried steroids?
Yeah, I think I was 22 when I started taking it properly.
What's your stance on some of your athletes maybe taking steroids? Do you advise it or not?
It's a good.
Esse cara ama o Suco e com certeza os alunos dele também.
Question, and I feel like it's something that someone needs to come to the conclusion themselves. I'm going to then try best advise you to do it in a safe manner. A lot of men definitely have body dysmorphia and they take the steroids to make themselves feel better, but it ends up having a negative effect.
Have you or anybody else, do you know, are they taking steroids for preparation for this?
I do take steroids.
Oh, you do take steroids?
I do take steroids, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all controlled, it's not abused. I have my bloods taken before and after, of course, to minimise any risks that they may pose. Would I promote it and advise someone to do it? No, I wouldn't. But for me, I'm competing against others that do it.
Yeah.
You have to stand a chance.
Even the playing field for you lot.
Exactly.
If competitions don't test for steroid use, hence allowing it, those competing often think that they won't stand a chance without it.
É por isso que é muito importante que as federações naturais cresçam cada vez mais. E eu estou muito feliz que no Brasil nós temos grandes atletas naturais, como o meu amigo Gabriel Ortiz, que acabou de ganhar um show na Espanha, como esse outro rapaz, Jaime de la Madrid, Bruno, Ícaro e inúmeros outros que estão trazendo o esporte natural para o Brasil. Obrigado, galera.
Every single user I've spoken to says that they wouldn't advise anyone to take roids. Surely they should be banned from competitions altogether. David Crossland, a former steroid-using bodybuilder, has turned his efforts to harm reduction. So Dave, what do you do nowadays?
Probably the easiest way to describe Eval is a blood testing company for people with alternative lifestyles. It's just about minimising the harms that people expose them to, be that steroids or be that recreational drugs.
Let's get into your story in particular. You're a pretty big lad, I'm telling you, like the biggest guy I've seen so far. How did you first get into using steroids?
I started steroids at 19. I finished steroids at 24.
15 anos.
At which point I was very large, not in bad condition, and had the potential to turn pro as a bodybuilder. And then I tore my left pec completely off. That sort of ended that, and then I spiraled into depression. The renal specialist basically said I outgrew my kidney's capability of managing my physique. So I'm stage 4 kidney failure.
Olha só, tenho insuficiência renal nível 4 e nunca vou melhorar. O preço do suco sempre é alto.
And that'll never get better.
Is it a lot of medication now? Is it like a whole lifestyle change?
No, not really. Not from the kidneys. I've got a lot of medication for the heart failure and the heart attacks, but not from the kidneys.
Heart attacks? Plural heart attacks?
Well, I had an official heart attack, an official myocardial infarction in end of November last year.
Do you know anybody who's died because of steroid usage?
It's difficult to say that someone's died because of steroids. Are there people that have passed that steroids may have played a significant role in it? Yes, without doubt. You can't OD on steroids. You know what I mean? You can't go and take too many and drop dead.
Yeah.
It's a time thing. It's a constant abuse situation.
So what advice would you give to an 18-year-old possibly considering taking steroids?
I have people come to me on a weekly basis that I'm telling them they're now testosterone dependent or they're now infertile. And they're shocked by that revelation. You know, there is risk with these drugs. Learn the risks you're taking and then decide if those risks are worth those rewards.
O risco não vale. O risco não compensa. Você vai ganhar um troféu de plástico. Pra quê? Ah, mas eu quero ser um Mr. Olympia, então vai em frente, rapaz. Mas saiba que vai ter um preço. Todos os competidores do Mr. Olympia precisam abusar de drogas de forma extrema. Em todas as categorias, eles usam 12 meses por ano. Essa é a verdade do bodybuilding. Jesus.
Steroid use is rife in the UK, and it's extremely easy to get your hands on them, trapping men in a cycle that seems hard to break. From what I've learned, a lot of men turn to steroids when they're feeling self-conscious, with social media platforms often perpetuating the narrative, feeding us unrealistic body images. Ironically, the side effects can sometimes make men even more self-conscious, and in some cases, be fatal. There needs to be more education available on the impact steroids can have on men's lives.
Exatamente.
Because if people are aware of the potential risks, I doubt so many would take them.
Essa é a missão do canal Rodrigo Góes. conscientização, informação e entretenimento com uma pitada de humor, porque eu quero que esse assunto se torne, de certa forma, leve. Eu quero que esse assunto atinja a maior quantidade de pessoas possíveis. Não é possível. Não é possível que a situação continue como está. As pessoas precisam saber o quão ruim os esteroides podem ser. Elas precisam compreender os verdadeiros malefícios. Eu tenho certeza que com a maior conscientização, o número de usuários reduziria muito. E a vida seria mais bela, não é mesmo? Viva a prática do esporte sem o uso do suco. Viva ao natural. E essa foi a minha reação à epidemia de esteroides anabolizantes que está acontecendo no Reino Unido. Infelizmente, a epidemia do suco já dominou o Brasil. Mas eu não vou parar de lutar. E eu espero que vocês lutem comigo. Precisamos conscientizar a nova geração sobre os malefícios do suco e puxar a orelha daqueles indivíduos que utilizam há anos, achando que não haverá um preço. O suco sempre cobra. E aí, o que você achou de tudo isso? Eu peço de coração que todos vocês fiquem longe do suco e lembrem-se que natural é a fonte da juventude e a coisa certa a fazer. Stay natty, kids! E se você gosta desse tipo de conteúdo e quer ver mais vídeos como esse, por favor, se inscreva no meu canal, me siga no Instagram e me siga no TikTok. Rodrigo Góes. Out!